Welcome into the latest edition of Extra Time. We have Alejandro Moreno, Nedum Onuoha, Steve Nicol, and Don Hutchinson to answer the questions for you.
I miss the fern. Where is the fern, Don? Where is the fern?
With the wonky bookcase.
Yeah, you have to have your fern that you used to have, Don. It's incomplete without the fern.
Oh, I'll bring it back. I'll bring it back. I'll bring a bit of greenery in next time.
Got the caps there, though.
It's a work in progress.
Position.
It's a work in progress.
Nedum, your background's really boring compared to these two. You need to bring it.
No, what it is that for every year I do this media stuff, I'll get an extra piece of wood. So after a few years, I should have some sort of bookcase or something in there. The only issue will be trying to put medals in because I don't have any.
Nedum the rookie.
Hang on.
Oh,
there we go.
There it is. There it is.
There we go.
There. Okay. Now, see, now
That is
we're
a
talking.
fake plant if ever I saw one.
It totally is, Kate.
It's very
it totally
tropical, tropical plant.
All right, easier that way.
Terrible.
All right, let's get to the real stuff then, the questions here. For Ale, how long do you think it will take this M&M trio to gel and start playing like we expect them to?
I don't know, about, I would say 2-3 weeks, but maybe that's the amount of time that Kylian Mbappe is out with his injury, so maybe another month or so.
Okay, well, we'll see. Anyway, we'll move on.
It shouldn't take much longer.
It shouldn't with those.
Honestly.
Is it going to work, though?
Well, that's it. Is it going to work between the three of them? Yes. Is it going to work with whatever is going on behind them? I'm not so sure.
All right. Divyansh says, is Carlo Ancelotti showing again that he's still a very good manager? With almost the same personnel as last year, Real Madrid look more dangerous offensively and are scoring more goals and creating more chances. Ancelotti, the difference maker, Don?
Yeah, I think so. I think he's just a very solid appointment, isn't he? You're not going to get any frills. He doesn't go ballistic on the touch lines if they're missing chances or if anything's going wrong. I think he's very solid. He knows exactly what he's doing. He's a multiple Champions League winner as well. So I'd like to think he's going to stick around a little bit longer than he did at Everton.
Nedum, are we keeping you up? What was that noise?
No. I was just trying to put something into my background.
Ooh.
Lift it up.
What's happening here?
Can we
I'm just trying to keep you happy, that's all. Are you okay with this? Or is this background okay?
No, that's fine, but
I can't, no.
Is that a rocking horse? Is that what it is?
I think it talks.
Okay.
It's
It's a mode of transport around the house.
Okay, and what's the horse's name? What's the horse's name, Nedum? What's the horse's name?
Listen, I don't want to go into that. I don't want to reveal too much on national TV, so I'm just going to keep it quiet. This is just the horse.
All right, we'll stop horsing around. Frank.
Hey.
Okay.
Stevie, you've got to like that one.
All right.
Come on, Stevie.
All right, okay.
Stevie loves a little pun.
Well, I've got no idea. I can't see anything apart from myself. I've no idea what's going on. I'm trying to figure it out in my head.
So Nedum just brought a white fluffy horse, a stuffed horse.
Yeah.
Not a real one.
Yes, a rocking horse that has no name. And then just to kind of bring you up to date, Stevie, we have Don with what looks to be a very tropical plant now in his background. Other than that, we're doing great.
Yeah, we're doing great, Stevie.
Oh. Tropical plant.
Tropical plant.
Yes, it's
Nothing
a
the police
form
would
of
be
palm.
interested in there, no.
It's a very fake palm. All right. Don, you knew it was coming. What percentage chance?
What is it?
What
is it?
percentage chance do you give Lewandowski to win the Champions League Golden Boot this season? I know
Champions League Golden Boot. What chance? I think he's the best number 9 in the world. I've gone on record and said that. I think the other guys in behind him, the Harry Kanes and the Lukaku's, Ronaldo's, sensational players, but he's the best number 9. I'm going to go 75%. I think Bayern will win it.
5%. The other day he tried to stay safe and say 33.3%.
He's going out on a limb on one of those tropical plants that he's got back there when he says, I've gone on record as saying Robert Lewandowski is the best number 9 in the world. Oh, really?
Well,
we didn't know that, Don. Thanks for telling us.
No, but
appreciate that.
No, but Ali, you should see it over in the UK. People talk about Harry Kane being the best number 9 in the world, and people talk about
Over in the
Lukaku being the
UK.
best number 9 in the world, and Ronaldo being the best number 9 in the world, and they are in the conversation for sure. I'm not the oracle. Just
What's
I
the
look at
correlation?
Lewandowski and I just think he is the best.
I tell you what,
we
if
know that.
Lewandowski was playing in the Premier League, we know what they'd be saying then, don't we?
Probably.
There you go. Right. Nedum, is Andreas Christensen the most underrated centre-back in the world right now? He has 37 clean sheets in the last 45 games for club and country. He hasn't put a foot wrong since Tuchel came in. Still, he never seems to get much recognition that he deserves.
I wouldn't necessarily call him underrated. I think he doesn't necessarily get some of the headlines other people get, but he's being picked by his manager, he's being picked by Tuchel, he's being picked by his national team manager. So the people that rate him the most, the ones who are most important are the ones who rate him the most, and he's playing in those sides. And let's be clear as well, you know, as a defender, he's got those clean sheets, but he's not done it by himself. So let's not try and go too deep into that. I think he's a very good part of good teams and good systems, and he's a very good player, but he's not underrated, and I think everybody knows that.
That's a question I wanted to ask.
I think the
defenders
biggest
allowed
problem
to-
with him
are-
is
are
he
the-
can't stay fit. Like we talk about Van Dijk and glowing terms, he's a good example, and the reason we do that is because for what, 2 years, game in, game out, his consistency at an incredible level was just off the charts. And when you look at the numbers and you talk about Christensen having 37 clean sheets, I mean, that in itself is fantastic, but we don't associate him with somebody like Van Dijk because he plays 5 or 6 games and then misses 5 or 6 games. And then he's got to start all over again. I mean, that's I think, the reason why. And as Nedum said, people that have an idea of what goes on don't underrate him. The guy just can't keep himself fit for a season, even one season. Always injured.
Are defenders allowed to claim clean sheets? Is this part of?
Yeah.
Is this part of what they do now?
That sounds like fighting
I was
talk to
thinking
me,
the same
lads.
thing.
So, since
thinking
when
the
do we
same
give
thing.
clean sheets to the defenders? I thought that was a goalkeeper thing.
Stevie Nedum.
Listen, I'm retired. I don't even have these
Well,
conversations
hold on a
anymore,
second.
so I don't know. I don't
Think
know. You
about
tell me.
who's saying this.
I
Think
know.
about who's saying this. What does he know about defending? In fact, what does he know about attacking? Actually,
Just giving you the right to reply.
Just asking a question. That's
All right. Stevie, is there one particular
anything
game?
from 3 yards? No. Anything from 2 yards and in, he's your man.
Stevie, is there one particular game that you thought about the most after retiring in a regrettable manner, or are you the move on quickly kind of guy?
Oh, move on. You move on. Listen, everybody
I
has.
know there's one there in the
everybody's
head,
had
though,
great
Stevie.
games and awful games.
Stevie, I
Right.
know there's one in the head. There must be one there in your head that still plays in your mind.
No. No, I sleep very well at night. No.
You know what's amazing
No,
about
not at all.
Stevie? What's amazing about Stevie is that
You understand?
while he takes his position in regards to his career, you should see him on the golf course. He carries everything with him in the golf course. The last bad putt carries him from the first hole to the 18th hole, and he is not the most positive with himself when he's playing golf.
And I've heard that not the most patient either, I learned yesterday.
Well.
Right.
Well,
No.
although he had a great up and
Okay,
down
I
today
get-
from a plug line in the bunker. He was fantastic today.
Go on, Stevie.
No, I'm just saying, though, the thing is, I guess once you finish playing, eventually you understand that there's so many things that were so good and so many things that could have been better and some things that were rotten that you just have to accept them all as part of being a player and being a pro. And you can't get depressed about something that went wrong in the same manner as you can't walk around unless you're Mr. LeBeouf with your World Cup gold winners medal around your neck every day going
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah. As to say, Stevie,
So you
don't look
just-
back in
hey,
anger.
hey. No.
All right. Stevie, I'm sure you know the answer to this one. I'm sure straight away you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. For Stevie, what will your FIFA rating be at the prime of your playing career? Would you have had high stats with defending or physicality?
What a stupid question. Of course it did.
Stevie, do you know about FIFA ratings?
You're right, it was an easy question, aye.
So, Stevie, if I give you like an example, say Trent Alexander-Arnold would probably be about an 87, just of his overall FIFA rating. In your prime, what would you give yourself? But that's out of 100, obviously.
I don't know, 90 or 90.
Oh, I like it.
That's it. Make sure he's higher. Make sure he's higher than Trent. Yes, sir. I'm with you, Stevie. I'm with you, Stevie.
Dad, do you know your FIFA?
I've kept the sort of eye on it. I don't pay too much attention to it in terms of what they mean. I mean, I've seen something on social media the other day where Kyle Walker, who's, I would imagine, by far the quickest player in the Premier League, his speed ranking, or whatever you call it, was low. And I think Kevin De Bruyne and I think Phil Foden walked out of the room. He's one of the quickest players I've ever seen, and he was down on his speed.
What would you give Stevie in his prime, Don? I think that was a prank that you saw.
Yeah, well, if Stevie's given himself 90, I'm going 91.
Ah, diplomatic.
He was
that is, isn't it?
sensational.
Oh, man, Don. Thank you, Don.
He was sensational on and off the pitch.
I see. He's still sensational off the pitch. I'll tell you that much.
Nedum, would you give Stevie a nice rating? Higher or lower than 91?
Yeah. You have to go higher. Let's just keep going until we get to 100. I'm saying 92.
For whom?
Get
Nedum?
in.
No, for Stevie Nicol in his prime.
Oh, I thought
never
Nedum
get-
was giving himself
I'll never
92.
give
I
a
was
heed
about to walk
at the
away.
attic door. Or the basement door.
Who's got the highest? Who's got the
Gone round
highest?
the
Do we know?
basement door. Who's got the
Who's got the
highest of you
highest?
lot? Of you
No,
lot in
right,
your
there's-
prime?
No, not us lot. The top boys.
Oh, the last time I looked, it was always Messi and Ronaldo. I don't know if it's
Oh, well,
changed
that's-
in recent
what
seasons.
what a guess that is, Kay.
Messi's 93,
by
I
the way,
think.
What a gamble you took there, Kay.
Let me tell
No,
you
but I
something.
didn't know if, like, recently some of the young guns
See-
have started to, like, climb up their old... They're getting older, aren't they? But that was the last
See
I
all
knew
these
of it.
stats. See all these
Right.
stats. I tell you what. There was one thing I read a few weeks ago about the Bundesliga, which I wasn't a huge fan of all this nonsense before, but I definitely completely had it done with it. As soon as I heard and I read that Süle from Bayern Munich was clocked as the fastest player in the Bundesliga at the weekend, I knew it was time to rip the thing up and put it in the bucket. Seriously.
I think Stevie's got it in for Süle.
Süle,
I've heard this before from you.
he was clocked at the fastest in the Bundesliga over the weekend. Are you serious? What?
Maybe there were some tired legs, Stevie. All right, all of you here, and we'll start with you, Nedum. In memorial of Manchester United's lost desserts, now that Cristiano Ronaldo's there and everybody's trying to eat well, what are the crew's favourite desserts? What's your favourite dessert, Nedum?
I would have to say a caramel sticky toffee pudding with a bit of ice cream on it. That's what it is for me.
Solid choice. Stevie?
Sticky toffee pudding. You talking to me?
Yes, and shepherd's pie doesn't count as a dessert.
I was trying. I can't even remember what a sticky toffee pudding looks like.
I
Anyway,
bet you can remember what it
I don't
tastes
eat
like.
dessert.
Oh,
I don't believe you.
Yeah.
Stevie,
I
I
don't eat
brought,
dessert. I
I brought
don't.
some English chocolate in for you when I first started, and you wolfed it down.
Right.
So
I
I
hadn't
think
just
you like
eaten
sweet
mince and
things.
tatties though, had I?
So you really are not a dessert guy?
I don't have a starter.
honestly.
I don't have a starter, and I don't have a dessert. I just
Don't
have
you
a
know?
meal.
No.
One
I'm
meal.
not
Don't you
buying
know?
One main
Don't
plate.
you know that Stevie, his body is a temple. Okay? He respects his body and does not abuse his body. He doesn't eat dessert.
It doesn't. All right. I can't believe that, Stevie.
What?
I'm not buying that.
Go ahead, Don.
Mine,
Yeah.
I'm gonna go tiramisu.
Oh, cultured.
Classic.
I just like it.
Classic.
I'm gonna go with
I'm not
my
buying
grandmother.
Stevie would definitely be. I think if you put a bowl of hot custard and chopped up banana, basic, I think Stevie's all over it.
It's one of your 5 a day in there. I think that might be too healthy for Stevie.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
I'll take my grandmother's key lime pie.
Oh, good choice.
Delicious.
Good.
And emotional as well. See, I'm emotionally invested with this dessert.
Yeah.
Oh.
That is true.
Bless her.
Meant true comfort eating as well.
Oh,
True
man,
meaning.
let me tell you something.
All right.
That brings back some memories.
Okay, hopefully next time we're here, Nedum will step up his background game.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN Plus.